Hey everybody, before I start I want to tell you that this video is sponsored by Water. This video is about the install of a reverse osmosis water filtration system, which I'm super excited to be doing because I've been wanting a reverse osmosis system for a long time, otherwise known as RO. If you don't know what reverse osmosis is, it's basically a form of ultrafiltration. So this system that I'm going to be installing by Waterdrop uses 3 stages of filtration. The first 2 stages prep the water to be able to go through the RO filter, and the last stage is the RO filter. What's going to happen with this install is, you see my sink here, and the system comes with a faucet. We don't have a place to put the faucet yet. If you happen to have like a soap dispenser in your sink, you're in luck, because more than likely it's going to be the right size hole to fit the faucet. I don't, so part of this install is going to be drilling a hole into my granite countertop. So you're going to get a bonus. You're going to get to see how to drill a hole into a granite countertop, and you're going to see how to install the RO system. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's start by unboxing the contents. So first we have the Waterdrop instruction manual, quick setup guide, which has the parts list. And what I want to show you is the thing that I really like about this RO system. And it's the fact that, see how compact it is? It has this system housing here, and all it does is it takes these filter cartridges, basically. If you're not familiar with traditional RO, typically you'll have the RO filters, and those will slowly filter the water and store them into a storage tank. And then from that storage tank is what you in turn will fill into your cup to drink or whatever. This system doesn't do that, so you don't have to worry about the water inside that tank from sitting stagnant too long or building up with crap. And this is more efficient that way as well. So these are all the parts that should be inside this box, and also gives a rundown of the installation that we're going to be doing today. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that because you're going to watch it. Alright. So they give all the tubing required in here. They also give some Teflon tape. Here's our fittings. Basically all the hardware and tubing. Power adapter. Yes, this system does require power. It requires electricity. So you're going to have to plug it in. Hopefully you have an outlet under your sink. I happen to have an outlet under my sink because I have a dishwasher, and that has to plug in also. And here is the housing. Let's see. All right. And this is the system housing right here. So you see it's not too big, and it should fit under the sink just fine. Take this foam out of here. The RO membrane filter. This is the pre-sediment and carbon block filter. This is going to filter out all the initial sediment and stuff from your water, activated carbon filter. And here is the faucet assembly. That's it for the box. For me on this install, this is the most important part of everything that I'm doing, because I'm about to drill a hole into my granite countertop. I don't want to screw this up. You wouldn't want to screw this up, so it's critical that we do this safely, slowly, and correctly so we don't make any mistakes. In order to do that, you're going to need diamond-tipped tools. So here I have this Milwaukee Diamond Plus. It's a diamond-tipped hole saw. It's 1 3/8, which is the size that's required for the RO faucet that we're going to be installing. With the hole saw, you need to have the arbor that it's made for. This arbor has a diamond-tipped pilot drill. It allows your hole saw to find its way and get started. Now, what I'm going to do while I'm drilling is, first I'm going to start off by drilling the pilot hole without the hole saw connected to it. And then I'm going to thread the hole saw onto the drill or onto the arbor, and I'm going to get the hole saw started. Now once the hole saw is in there nice and straight and started, I'm going to stop. I'm going to unthread the arbor from the hole saw, and I'm going to continue drilling through the countertop. It's really important when we're drilling into granite using this saw that we keep the blade cool and lubricated. The way in which we're going to do that is with plain old water. So while drilling, you're going to see me spraying a lot of water onto the hole as I'm drilling, and that's keeping it cool and lubricated. Just going to grab the faucet and make sure that the placement looks good. And I think that looks good to me. Welcome to Under the Sink. So if you had to drill the hole in your countertop, this is going to be your next step. But if you're fortunate enough to already have a hole, then this is going to be step 1 for you. And this step is going to be attaching the feed water tubing to the cold water supply line. So in the box we had this piece of 3/8 tubing with what they call a feed water adapter attached to it. This adapter is going to connect, basically gonna be an adapter so it can tee off of your cold water line. So you're gonna connect this to the cold water feed and then connect your existing tube that goes to the faucet to this, and then it'll be able to tee off right here to go to the RO system. So this is the first step. And for this step, you're going to need just an adjustable wrench will be fine, or you could also use some channel lock pliers as well. Okay, so we installed the cold water feed line adapter. Check for leaks, we're all good on that. The next step is to install the RO faucet. And these are the parts that came with the RO faucet. And we have to install this mounting washer, the nut, and then a quick connect fitting on there for the countertop. I can't get the camera in there to film this, so that's why I'm showing you the diagram right here, because this is what I'm going to be doing next. Next we have what is called the drain saddle. Now the drain saddle is how we're going to connect the drain line of the RO system into the drain line for our house. This fitting connects onto the drain pipe, like so, and the tubing that goes from the drain of the RO system goes into here, and this drains directly into our drain. In order to do this step, we're going to need a 1/4 inch drill. I got one here, and we're going to have to drill a 1/4 inch hole into the drain pipe. Now, they recommend, Water Drop recommends that you install this drain saddle into a vertical section of pipe as opposed to a horizontal section of pipe. So I found this vertical section right here that I'm going to drill into, and I'm just going to go ahead and drill it right into the middle section right here. Our next step is to put the system underneath the sink, find a good place for it, and according to instructions, they recommend you don't put it right up on the side of the cabinet because it might vibrate as it's working and that could get annoying. No worries. So this is where I'm going to store our system, and it looks like it fits pretty well. So now we need to get to the back of the system so we can connect all the tubing. This is our input. So that is the first line that we worked on. You can go ahead and insert that tubing. make sure that the tubing is inserted fully into the fitting. Here's our waste right here, so we'll grab this waste line, and they put a mark right onto the tubing just to show you how far to insert it into the housing, just so you know that you're inserted in all the way. And lastly, we have the filtered water tube, which is the one that's connected to the faucet. So I'm going to insert that tube into the system. Make sure the tubes are in there. And the other side of this goes into the bottom of the faucet. Oh, one last thing. The power of the unit also has to be connected, but I don't know if that's the next step or what. Yeah, so the power port. So this is power from the faucet, which is what the indicator light runs off of. So that just connects to a little plug. We also have our power adapter that we need to connect. You want to do all this stuff when you have this housing out from under the sink, because we know how tight that gets. All right. So I have that connected. So now you're gonna carefully insert this back under the sink to your chosen location. Make sure you don't pinch any of the tubing in the process. We don't want to plug it in yet, but I'm just getting this AC adapter set up to the location that I want it to go. Okay, so we take the cap off of the filters and go ahead and we insert them in like that and turn them clockwise until they lock into place. You see the indicator dot right here that's open and then closed, or unlocked and locked. Each filter is sized so you can't screw up putting the wrong one into the wrong place. So that's good. Narrow. All right, all of our filters are in. Now that the filters are in, the next step is to turn on the cold water supply. So this is right on our adapter that we installed first. Just slowly turn that on and check for leaks. Make sure there's no leak at that tubing. Make sure, I'm gonna feel the back here. Make sure I don't feel any water leaking out of where the inlets are, where the tubing connected into this housing, and everything feels nice and dry, nice and leak-free, which is what you want when you're doing any kind of plumbing work. And let me see. So we turn on the cold water supply, and next step is to insert the plug of the power adapter into AC power. So we can go ahead and plug that in. Okay. So right now the system kicked on, and it's going to start flushing automatically for 5 minutes. Then there's going to be one beep, The filter life indicators will flash blue, yellow, and red in turn, and then turn blue for 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes, automatic flush is finished. Next, we have to flush the faucet for 30 minutes. Taking a look back at the RO system down below, and during this first 30 minutes of flushing, these lights right here are flashing, and once the 30 minutes is complete, those will display what the TDS reading of your water is. So that, as a reminder, is total dissolved solids, and it's a good indicator of the purity of water. It doesn't exactly tell you what those dissolved solids are, but it gives you an indication of how much quote-unquote stuff is inside your water. So that was the install of the water drop RO system. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. As you can see, it was quite the involved process. A little time consuming, but overall, not too difficult. The hardest thing was really drilling the hole in the countertop, but maybe you already have a hole and you can skip that step. There's gonna be a link to a blog post that we're also writing about this RO system. I'm gonna link to that in the description. And also, if you're interested in the water drop RO system, I'm gonna link to that as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. Click like and subscribe to see more cool videos about installs and other products. Thanks.